Howdy do y'all, this is John, and welcome back to my 4th Annual Horror-Athon. Today we are talking about Dog Soldiers, a movie released back in 2002, starring Sean Pertwee. And in Dog Soldiers, it deals with this group of British soldiers who are trapped inside this cabin by a group of werewolves. And as they're trying to survive and stuff, the werewolves keep picking them off one by one. So now the whole thing just becomes a fight for survival for these British soldiers. Okay, so getting into first and foremost, this is my first time watching this movie, so you're going to hear from the perspective of someone who only just saw it a little over 20 years after it was released. And to be quite honest, I think this movie has aged very well. The film does have this very low budget look to it. The film quality is very grainy and stuff like that. But when it comes to the actual werewolf effects, which of course they're just guys in suits, but they still look very good actually. This film was made on a budget like a tenth of Underworld's. And yeah, I think the werewolf effects in this movie is better than in Underworld. Now granted, you can still tell they're guys on stilts, but when it comes to the actual look of the suits they were wearing, they look very realistic. And when it comes to the actual narrative, while it's, yes, a bit derivative and stuff, there's definitely stuff that was used previously in Night of the Living Dead, Assault on Precinct 13, Aliens. They still at least do something new with these things. Some of it is to show that these werewolves, the antagonists of the movie, are actually very intelligent. And I should point this out here, but when it comes to action horror movies, I've seen action horror movies where you can definitely see the action but not the horror. For this movie you can see both. This movie you get all the action movie excitement and stuff like that, but you also have the tense, suspenseful, broody nature of horror. And I thought that was really neat, the fact that you could actually feel elements of both genres in the film. Yes, there are a lot of really tense, suspenseful moments in the film. Did I say this movie's perfect? No. This film has, unfortunately, a character development issue. You are introduced to all of these British soldiers. Within 15 minutes, you're just in there going, okay, who's who again? Because even though they've all got names, there's not much you can really do to identify each of the characters. So I think that the ending just randomly came out of left field or something like that, because the whole end fight just kind of starts happening and stuff, and there's a few revelations, and there's nothing that built up to that after a certain point, after a certain thing happened. All in all, this is my first time watching Dog Soldiers, and what are my thoughts on it? I think it's very good. I think that it definitely has held up quite a bit over the last 2 decades. Still have that really tense, really suspenseful atmosphere in it. Despite, a few gripes that I had with it, it wasn't anything to prevent me from enjoying the film. I give Dog Soldiers an 8. That's all the time I have for today. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Please also subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as always, please remember, the Badetsky will return.